everyone, welcome to Paper Wishes Weekly Webisodes. I'm Lene Gehrig, and today I have got the cutest collection from our friends at Elizabeth Craft Designs. These are the most adorable little dog house, cat, squirrel, and then here we've got this great pull tab to make movable cards and stamp set. They are so cute. My friend Debbie made the cutest projects. I can't wait to show you what she did with them, so come back and play with us. So let's take a look at this adorable card that Debbie made, using, of course, the little dog and the cat and then the stamp set. I should mention that the stamp set is called Fur Friends. So cute. And for her background, Debbie used the Dotted Duos paper pack #1. She also used that to make her little animals out of patterned paper. So cute. She also used some ink and some torn paper to make her clouds. And I'm going to show you that really quick before we move on to the next thing, which is how to put these together. So just a little bit of torn paper and then ink. This one is Ocean Blue. This is water reactive ink. She's just using it for the color. We're not going to be using any water. And of course we love our blender brushes. So let's see if we can move in a little bit, Steve. So what we're going to do there is just take our blender brush with our color on it. And then as you do that, we're going to move it. We want it to be a little random like this because we're going for that cloudy sky. And just kind of layering it like that. There we go. Maybe we can move in a little bit more even, Steve. All right. Oh, forgot to get my little wipe to clean my blender brush. Years ago, I was doing a video where I did not clean off my blender brush, and then when I was using it later, I put the wrong color ink on the wrong thing because my brush was dirty. So I always like to remind you guys to clean them right when you use them. I clean them with a wipe, and then later I use soap and water. All right, so cute. I'm going to show you how to put together, they pretty much all go together the same way, the little characters, but I'm going to show you how to put together the little cat, and then we'll move on to something else. So here are my little pieces. Let's see. And here are the little cat pieces right here. So we've got the little head piece, and then the little black eyes are right here, and then there's a little nose. So the nose is here. Then there's this little muzzle right here, and the muzzle has a little bit of a embossing, like an indentation when you run it through your die cutting machine. Mine did not turn out well, and then I just found it wasn't really showing up. So I just used a little fine black pen, little fine tip, and just drew my mouth in over those embossed lines. Cut my little nose out of black. And then I'm going to, well, I went ahead and I'm inking the edges. I like to ink the edges of my little characters. And you can use the, blender brushes to do this really easily. So this one is coffee brown. And we're just taking the blender brush and just going around the edge, just like that, just to give it a little defined edge. Very quick to do, and I like to do that and just go ahead and do that on all the pieces that are tan. So that's how that works. Then on this little muzzle piece, I put a little bit of foam tape on the back of that one. There we go. There's the little face done. Now for the ears, for the tan part of the ears, which is actually right here, okay, I went ahead and inked those with that same brown ink, and then the inner part of the ear, I inked that with 2 colors of pink. So I just did the whole thing in this jelly bean, and then I wanted a little darker towards the base of the ear, in the inner ear, so I used a fuchsia on that one. And then I'm going to go ahead and use a little glue to put that. I like to use Cosmic Shimmer Specialist Acrylic Glue. A little bit of glue there, and we're going to glue that to the back. There. You just need a little glue. I find if I use too much, they just kind of slide around. And that way too, you can kind of move them accordingly. And then we have this sweet little bow right here, and I die cut that out of a patterned paper and then inked those edges. Put a little bit of foam tape there. We're going to put that right there. All right, so now we move down to the body part, and I've already kind of done a little bit of this. So here's the body, it's upside down, but that's the tummy, and then the legs. And then right here you've got 4 paws. I die cut 4 of those out of white cardstock. And then inked the edges, the white little tummy, inked that edge, did not ink the white paws. And then we've got 2 front legs right here, and I glued the paws on each one of them. Now I'm going to put foam tape on the back, and I'm just going to place those like that, kind of overlapping the back leg, like that. All right, and then we've got a little tail. My glue is having an issue there. All right, and the tail, we're just going to put that so it's going right up like that. And then at the bottom part of the little head, I'm putting foam tape there too, and we're going to tape that right there. And I just put it at a little bit of an angle, just so the cat looks a little curious. All right, so really fun and simple to put together. So let's go ahead and look at another one. This one uses the little dog, okay, put together in pretty much the same way. And for this one, Debbie also used a little pull mechanism right on the side here. And then look at that, it's got Fido. Isn't that adorable? That is so cute. And for that one, Debbie used our new Simply Stripes 6x6 pattern cardstock. And she also used, this is silver linen. I drew a blank. Silver linen cardstock, and it's really pretty. It's got a little bit of a texture to it. And she used that, you know, for these little areas here. So cute. Okay, so now let's talk about how to make that mechanism. I'm going to take these out of this package because I kind of left them a mess when I was using them. All right, so we've got 2 sizes of mechanisms here. This is the actual pull, and I'm going to show you how to put it all together, but first you need to note that there are 2 sizes here, 2 widths, okay? And this is the one that Debbie used on her cards. This one being wider, it's for much larger cards. Even though they're the same length, you do trim them down. But for maybe larger pieces, these little critters that we're putting on here are pretty small. So they would be appropriate for this size. If you were doing something much larger, maybe like a large flower or something, you would do this size. So we're going to take this piece. Okay, we're also going to use this piece, which is sort of the, it's like the guide that it's going to run through. And we're going to use these smaller sizes. This is the little arrow thing here that you get folded in half. This part right here is the little half circle. And then I want to make sure I grab the right one here. Okay, and then you have to choose kind of the track that you're going to use, the length of it. So how far do you want it to move? And they come in 4 different sizes here. So if you want a really short amount of kind of wiggle room, you would use the shortest one. Wow, that's really stuck on there, like that. All right. So we have everything we need here. So what you're going to do is start with a piece of cardstock. On all of hers, Debbie used, just like on this one, she did a white cardstock, and then she covered that with patterned paper just to make sure that she had a nice firm surface. So we're just going to start with this being unpatterned. Okay, so you would want to cover this. And then you're using this piece right here. We'd want to use a low-tack tape. This is hunky-dory low-tack tape, but you could also use washi tape to secure that when you're running it through your machine. And then you're going to take this little piece, which is the pull part, and that's going to go right there. Then once they're all taped down so they're secure, you could run that through your die cutting machine at this point. All right. Now we're going to talk about the actual pull mechanism. Now, it's recommended that you layer several of them together so it's a little more sturdy. If you just use one and you're doing a lot of pulling on it, it could rip, it might not hold up. So we recommend doing 3 layers, okay? Now, here's the thing. If you do 3 layers, then the end part, which I'm going to show you what to do, this is pretty bulky down here when you're folding that in half. Well, you're folding it in thirds, really. When you're folding it like that, it's very bulky, kind of unnecessarily bulky. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 2 of these 3 pieces, and we're going to trim off. There's little guidelines there for folding. You're going to trim off those pieces right there, and we're going to show you why. Okay, so now we can take our glue, which I'm not confident that my glue is doing what it needs to be doing this morning. Let's see. I want to make sure, ouch, poked myself. I want to make sure that it's unclogged here. There we go. All right, so we're going to just take some glue. Wow, made a mistake right off the bat. We're going to take some glue and we're going to glue this down right like that. Oops, sorry, you can't see. There we go. And we're going to place the 2 that do not have the little nibs or knobs or folding pieces. We're going to place those right there. All right, now there are little folding embossed areas right there. What you're going to do is you're going to take this, you're going to fold it like that and like that, okay. And then you're going to fold it like that. Okay. Now, when you get to that point right there, there's a little circle. My goodness, where's my circle? A little circle piece. We can use this. There's these little circle pieces, and we can just glue them right over here. One has an arrow on it. I'm missing a piece. Nope, I'm not. Okay. We're going to glue right there. And we're going to take this and glue this right like that. And that, nope, Lene. Sorry, you guys, I made a mistake. We're going to take this before we glue the circle on there. I got so distracted as to whether or not where the circle was that I forgot. Once we get to this point right here and they're folded, we're going to put this right through here. Gosh, I was just so, I put it upside down. Gosh, I got so flustered. So forgive me. All right, so once we get it done like that, we're going to put it right here, and we're threading those through. Preferably don't put glue on them yet like I did. All right. I'm going to show you what this piece is in just a sec. All right, so now once you get that piece done, you're folding that piece so that it's like this. All right, and then now we're going to take our glue. See, we've got that little folded piece there. And I made that way more complicated than it needed to be. Okay, now we're gluing that right over the top of that. And the reason we're doing that is so that now we can have a nice little platform. So when we're going to put our little character on that little platform, that's what that's for. So now we're going to turn this over. Now, right here is this piece right here. Okay, it looks like this. And you're going to fold it in thirds. There's already score lines on there. All right, and then you're going to go ahead and glue it at the, like, at the top of that little track. All right. And I just like showing you that I just kind of messed this up. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to glue this to wrap around this so that it's a guide, so that when you're moving this up and down, it's not kind of, if you don't have it, it's going to move around like this. So you're having this guide here so that when you're moving, you're pulling this up and down, it's not wiggling around. All right, so I'm going to make sure that this little guy is going to move down here because I've really put it through the mill here by gluing it a couple of times. All right, so that's that's going to work. Now, I would recommend taking a little bit of the Cosmic Shimmer and gluing that down, but because we are like not wanting to take time to let that dry, I'm going ahead and using a little extra sticky tape. Extra sticky tape, when it comes to movable things, it isn't like forever permanent. It can kind of dry out over time and things can loosen up. Whereas if you're using the glue, it's really going to bond. Like, it will probably never break. So I would recommend using glue on this unless you're in a hurry like me. So I just put a little bit of extra sticky tape on the shorter side. See, there's two sides, the shorter side, and then you're doing that, okay? So I didn't want to have to sit here like this for 5 minutes waiting for it to dry. All right, so now this is going to move like this, up and down. We also have to trim this down, okay, because that's just way too long. So at this point, you're going to take some scissors and just trim it even with that top edge. And now you're going to take one of those little circles again, and you're just going to fold that in half, and it's got a little arrow on that. If you can see, got a little arrow. We want the arrow to point up. And we're going to take a little bit of glue, and we're going to sandwich that on that little tab, so that when your recipient gets this, they're like, they see that they have a little action to make. You put that right there. And then when they pull that, it's going to go up and down. So now we can go ahead, we can take our little character, and I would put glue on the circle instead of your character in case you accidentally get glue elsewhere and it dries someplace else. Okay, so we're going to put that right there. I'll let that dry for just a sec. And then we've got our little card. And on the back here, okay, we've got foam tape from our giant roll of foam tape, okay? This sucker is going to last you a long time. There's 150 feet or 50 yards of foam tape on there. Okay, and we need this foam tape, and we need so much of it on here because we're really creating a little platform to lift this up so that this mechanism has room to move up and down. If you just glued this on your card, maybe put glue on this side and this side, it would be really a tight fit. So having that on there is very, very helpful. And then at this point, you can glue that to your card front. Okay, there we've got our card. Normally this would have beautiful patterned paper on it. Okay, and then we can just lift that up and down. How cute is that? That's adorable. Yeah, we love that. All right, so sorry for the oopses here and there, but we made it, you guys. All right, now we have one more to show you, which is the adorable squirrel. And I just love what Debbie did with this one. Look at that, it's so cute. That's on a slimline card, so this is 3.5 by 8.5 inches. Look at that. Really cute, right? And look at that, the squirrel is in this direction, and it also, it's kind of, she glued the little body along the side, so it has a different direction on it. So here's all the squirrel dies, so cute. Debbie also used Chantilly lace. I know, surprising, right? It's really lacy, but it's got a beautiful polka dot in here and some beautiful burgundy and browns. She used Chantilly lace patterned cardstock and then this coordinating solid cardstock as well. And then this background here, she stamped this wood grain stamp. She stamped it twice on here. So she took her tan cardstock, she stamped it, and then these pieces right here, these ends align. So you could stamp it once, and then you could stamp it again. She stamped that with an embossing stamp pad, and then she sprinkled on this wonderful chocolatey brown embossing powder, and then heated that with a heat gun. I think that is amazing. She did such a great job. So I think I covered all that, you guys. Thanks for hanging in there with me. It got a little dicey there for a minute. So we have got a great money saver on this. So cute. Would definitely recommend you checking that out. It's on the right-hand side of your screen if you're watching us at Paper Wishes. And down below, if you just want 1 or 2 items, look down below the video. Everything is listed there, as well as full color images of all the projects. Click on those, you'll find supply lists. If you're watching us on YouTube, hey, look below the description, look below the video in the description box, and you'll see a link that'll take you to paperwishes.com. And don't forget to subscribe, everybody. We do 3 to 5 of these videos a week. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you next time.